Hi, I'm tired. I'm burnt out, sort of. It's more of a depression, probably. I'm addressing something. Um, it's the new moon, the full moon is gonna be tomorrow. I'm planning things like a certain type of edible for me to build my dream work for a blocked memory of me as a toddler for CSA, which I don't think I'll disclose any of that discreetly. I won't even, if anything, it will be vague at best. But for now, I'm explaining something about releasing shame for any of my arousals. Um, I have things I'm doing and all of that, and I'm aware of a memory that I'm aware of something that may have happened that I don't remember the details. Um, I'm um, I'm figuring things out as I realize the way my life has been based on a single thing that happened and snowballed all the way for the rest of my life. Um, and I want to let go of shames from almost everything, honestly, at this point. A lot of people have a lot of trauma from when you're a child, and it really does paint your entire perception of the entire world. And that includes me. I will always support for sex workers, and I will always support for um, the compensation of uh, SW creators, all of that type of things. Whatever they do, I support them and always will. And it can always be empowerment for a person who chooses that to be empowering for them. Um, I don't know that I'm going to always be making SW myself, but I will always be supporting that regardless. So I won't disclose for the type of CA. I'm just CSA. I'm just going to let go of shame for my own taboo arousals. Luckily for I don't have enough knowledge about I've never had arousal of a pedophilia, which I'm pretty lucky that I have something that's not as severe as it could have been. I've had um I've had what do you say this? I'm tired, so I'm not doing very well. But I think I'll be able to handle it okay. Um what are the thoughts? Intrusive thoughts. I've had occasional intrusive thoughts where I get worried that I might be a pedophile at some point. I would be like, "Oh my god, what if I even do think about kids?" And I don't have kids. I've never had kids, but I have taken care of kids before. I grew up Mormon, so yeah, I babysat. I never had arousal for any of those things. Um, but I have always had that intrusive thought sometimes, and I never. It wasn't often. It was sometimes, and I think it's almost entirely based on my own CSA. Um, because it wasn't often. Um, the arousals that I have that would be taboo, is that I'm ready to explain it because I don't mind. I'm letting go of the shame of what is expected of me, and I'm going to provide myself grace. I don't need to forgive myself for this. Like, my life is the way it is because of how things started. I can control the way my life will be in my my life going on. Um, I've had I have never had arousal for any men. I'm on the ACE spectrum, the asexual spectrum, that I think that mine is based on CSA, because it was so early on. And I do not want to say that people, I, this is just me. So if you are ace and you don't have any trauma holding it, that is fine. That is fine. I'm queer, I'm a lesbian and on the ace spectrum, and you can believe in whatever happens with you. Um Nobody, even the choices, it's not really a choice either way. People are just the way they are. Humans are humans, and I have no, even if you had a memory, if you didn't, if you had trauma or not, I don't mind that either at all. That's, some things just happen, and I don't want anybody to feel shamed on that. This is about me, so I'm just letting stuff out, airing my own trauma. And here's some raining now, so there's that. I don't know if you can hear that. It's getting hard because it's the hurricane season. And I'm coastal, so the arousals that I've had, um, first of all, I've never had an arousal for men at all. As far as I know, cis men. Um, I've never been dating or sexual relations with trans men. You know, I've not dated very many people in general, so don't worry about that. Um, I do remember feeling arousal early on and into my current life. Um, I basically only got arousal when I was, you know, probably in my teens. So not until I had puberty. Puberty started for me when I was about 13ish. So yeah, that makes sense. Um, my my teen and young adult life, I'm still in young adults right now. I'm about in I'm around the 30 range. um I've still had, um I've been an SWer. I used to be full service um for a few years. I've always been SW since I was like 21 or something. Um, so I've been doing stuff for a very long time, um, comparatively to my time as a human being. Um, I've had bad things that happened, but not full violence. And I've had bad experiences with peers. That was also a form of, you know, um, SA. So I've had it from peers and um, to customers, clientels, that type of stuff. Ultimately, so it was true that there are times when I had people would use me regardless of their sex, although it was mostly predominantly that it would be men mostly. Um, the only times I would be aroused by people is when there was something that was non-sexual thing that was going on at all. Was most of the time if I'm talking with someone and I'm being listened to, and it would be people that I knew that nothing would happen, as in only women, because it's so few are women are gay, right? Um, so I would have, if I felt aroused, it was maybe I was hugging a friend as a child, as a teen, because they're like actually being my friend, or if it was someone, another friend who's talking and listening to me and understanding who I was and wasn't expecting things of me, especially sexual, so only non-sexual stuff. And that even included things that are women of my family. So it could be sisters or mother, and I would feel aroused based on having a conversation with them because I knew that nothing would be happening with that. And the most I could feel is because I would be protected and not being having the expectations or demands sexually. So that is what I am letting go of it because I've always had those feelings and I held it as shame that, oh, that's taboo. Part of it would be incest if I can feel the arousal for people who are my family, which wasn't males, only females. And it wasn't always females because if something bad happened from someone who did put expectations on me, um, that would be sexual to grooming, I would no longer have arousal for that type of person. I did have that with my one of my first my I only had one girlfriend so far. No, it's not. That's not true. I had two girlfriends. Um, one girlfriend, my first girlfriend ever, and it was very short because it was very expected that I was to be doing things, even though it wasn't directly for. There were still limits and there were borders for what was doing, but it was expected that I was doing always something. And so I couldn't keep that one. And so I left that one. Another one, so it was another form of abuse. So I've had a lot of, I guess I'm letting ready for myself to allow myself to feel all of these things and let go of the shame because it does seem that my entire life has had um, a lot of um, this is kind of hard. So this is kind of hard. I'm tired because I already last night I was like my cat keeps he won't cuddle me. My cat keeps meowing at me, but I already know what he's mad about. But I think he was trying to tell me and warn me for things I'm about to start feeling a bunch of stuff right now for probably straight up the moon. My cat did see my dream on the new moon, and he's been with me in my dream for that time, and sometimes I see him in my dreams, and I think he's going to maybe help me guide me for my my edible tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I was like, why is my cat not cuddle me? And he's so mad at me. And I think it had nothing to do with anything except for me needing to be prepared for letting go of all these things and starting to feel things. Being autistic and ADHD and or bipolar 2 in the capitalistic world means that um, I can't keep a job. I get fired for no real reason. But the only reason is that I'm autistic. I'm very good at working. They usually don't like me because I'm autistic. Um, so I kept losing jobs, which means I'm always on the extreme mask going on for maintaining piece of shit jobs regardless. Um, it's at this point that I've not been having these jobs. I let go of the jobs. I've been still doing sex work. So I still maintain a little bit of money, but not enough. I've been finally expressing myself to feel things for all of that. If I was in survival mode and still having these jobs, I would not be able to feel anything at all because I would be stunning and silencing any of my feelings because I would be required for all of these types of jobs. because I already know how these jobs are like. I would have to be masking the entire time I was there. I'm letting go of the idea of piece of shit jobs. I know that I'm a creative and that the things that I like to do is for art, creation, the whole thing. So I'm going to be doing more of that, and I don't require myself on all of those type of things as much for those jobs. The more that I do without having that, I'm able to unmask. And the biggest thing about unmasking is that I can now allow myself to feel because I'm not on the same level of survival mode that I have. I'm still stressing finances. I have heart murmurs. So that's just going on. I used to have it for one of my exes, and then I've also just been having it recently. Lightly heart murmuring, but still does have a the heartbeat a little bit wrong. But that's just finances mostly. Yesterday I had content. I was like using the pendulum for my higher self to tell me about here's what your cat's mad about, but really it's all about you and all about your um it's the time to let go of not only shame but the things that have happened. So I remember all of the things that happened except for one thing, as far as I know. Um, that I'm probably ready to. I've been building my dream work. I've been unmasking so I can feel and I can allowing to let go of shame of everything so that it doesn't matter what my arousal is, what people expect of me, for especially the capitalist and the finances and all of that type of stuff. I'm still working on all of those and it takes a lot. But I'm at this place where it's safe to express and feel. And this is the time when I'm ready to do all of those things. So I don't mind that I've been aroused for my female family. That is okay. I don't expect anything happens for it. It's just something that happens, and I know why I have it at all because I'm on the A spectrum based on CSA and SA, and that's okay. And I'm letting go of all of these types of shames. Um, I'm not doing this for anyone else, and I'm tired of people. Um, I'm gonna get flack because apparently the fairies expect of me to be more used to holding my ground, standing my ground, and not even listening to haters, which I'll probably even get from this video if people watch it. That's okay. There's always people project onto you, and I'm gonna have a rough time knowing about um myself and letting myself for the shame of all of that and limiting myself of the expectations of others. I can't do anything for anyone. Everyone's their life is to feel and experience, and your happiness is your own responsibility. I will not create happiness for anyone. That's all that. So I'm just doing things that help me address all of my feelings and all of the things. So I'm okay with what it is. If people feel shitty about it, okay, go ahead. I don't give a shit. If even if people who already know about that I have been aroused about, especially taboo for incest, because I'm not gonna do anything. Um, like guess what? It's a fucked up world that bad things happened to me and here's a result of those bad things that happen. This happens a lot to a lot of people. And maybe at some point I not even have those arousals at a certain point because I can feel safe enough in the world and in my life that it's not that there's people who expect things of me sexually that I can probably not even have to but get wet for somebody listening to me as a human being. That's like fucked up. That's pretty sad to hear, honestly. And that's okay to feel sad about it. I'm gonna allow myself to be like, well, that feels shitty to know that I get wet for literally not being expected of sexually. And I'm okay to feel all the feelings right now. I'm expecting to probably, if I have my type of edible tomorrow, I'll probably either, I've been meditating, doing dream work. Hopefully, I can have an easier way of having the dream and all of that type of stuff. What happened happened. Nothing can happen now. I can be um, affirm for myself while I'm having it. I'm strong. I am safe. I am in control. That type of stuff. So the probably the reason why I want to do it now is the earlier the better. Plus, I can probably get a lawsuit for it. Um, so I'm not gonna disclose any details. Just that I'm gonna expect a certain amount of money for once I unlock the memory and all that. But it does mean that I'm probably not going to be continue to make sex work in general because it won't serve me anymore because I'm not going to be holding that expectation. I already, the way that I see for sex work for me, an individual, is that I already knew that every single person, oh, there's like probably 98% of people in my life 95% of people in my life would expect or make a possibility of expecting things sexually. So early on, I knew that something was going to happen. If it was going to always happen that way, and I wasn't going to be able to keep a fucking job, it makes sense that for me, I would have do sex work so I could at least be compensated for all this bullshit that was going to happen anyway. So it makes sense that if I let go of that, that guess what? I don't have to appease anyone. I do not have to please for anyone. I can just exist as a human being, feel and experience exactly as I want without demands of other people. I will not have to continue to do all of those things. It doesn't mean I'm not going to masturbate. It just means I'm not going to film it as much as often. And I'm not even sure if I'm ready to stop yet because I'm still stressed about finances, that I still maintain all of those. But I've had a very accumulation of all of these work that ultimately I'd rather it would just be a passive income at a certain point because I'm not going to demand it the same way, which might mean I don't even know that I'm going to always do the dance for the YouTube. I don't think that's going to be my audience forever. I think at some point, the true audience, who is designed for aligning with the shit that I say or do as a witch and all that, that I probably won't even be doing dancing for filming, but we'll see. Um, I still want to exercise every now and again. Um, I still want to dance because I like to dance. But I don't think my demands are going to be. I don't think people are going to demand things for me anymore. I'm not going to let those happen, and I'm not going to take from haters. Haters can say whatever they want to say. All of that's projection. It's all their own shit. If they want to keep on saying that to themselves, go ahead. You accept the bullshit of your life that you do. I am letting go of the stuff that I've had. I'm letting go of the shame of what has happened to me and how it has painted my perception of the world. And I'm okay with letting go of all of those things. So I like witchcraft. That's what I'm probably going to do. I don't think I'm going to be, I might be a little bit more depressed going on, but I should be able to get back. I should be able to handle it back to um, my groove because I've been building these skills, especially gardening, especially feelings, especially unmasking, that ultimately I shouldn't be depressed very long, but I do know that it will happen. And so I do want to forgive, not even forgive, give myself grace for whatever may happen. And I want to, like, whatever the dream is like, I want to accept for whatever could be there, and I want to try and feel it of a color, to not always feel it as, oh shit, it's horrible things. I'm trying to let it be the way it is and remember that it is the past slash, maybe I don't even know what I'll be for my edible anyway, because I don't know the full level of dosage of any of that. I'll probably be throwing up, but that is that. That's my video. So I'm letting go of any of my taboo arousals and the things that happen as CSA and all of that. So, um, shit happens, you know? We always, like, everyone has a form of trauma, whether they know it or not, and the severity varies, and that's okay. And the way we handle it is up to us. So that's how I'm going to be doing that.